Alexa, replay.
I'll repeat the song.
I can.
Tell me not to play. All I gotta say is when you tell me not to play, I say no. So if you ask me why I love the way I play, there's only one thing I can say. Tell me how I wanna run. I wanna run to run. There's a feeling that everything of the dust and there ain't nothing in the world to make me go. Turn the power up. I'm waiting for so long so I can hear my favorite song, so let's go. When it's like this, I feel the music you throw me. There's nothing else that I would rather do. I wanna run. I want to run.
Alexa, replay.
I'll repeat the song.
Tell me not to play. All I gotta say is when you tell me not to play, I say no. So if you ask me why I love the way I play, there's only one thing I can say. Tell me how I wanna run. I wanna run. Want to run. I want to run. I wanna run. There's a feeling that everything of the dust and there ain't nothing in the world to make me go.
Everybody, Brady. right, there we are, Joe. And you're the original Joe Cool. But anyway, I was rocking out with that. And then, technical difficulties, like, what's funny? No matter how much this technology grows, it's always messed up. And we want to give a shout out to Lala at Boot Crew Media for helping out, because we would never have been able to figure that one out. There's no way that me and you would have figured that one out. So we thank her for that.
Thank you, Lala.
Is the gardener there today?
No, he only has to come once a month. Here, only once a month.
I wanted to get a Super Bowl pick from him today. I wanted to get what's his name again? Luis
Gonzalez.
Yeah, I wanted to get Luis's take and just get a pick from him. You bring him in. He, maybe he's got the blower on him, the leaf blower, maybe not, but he probably would pick the Rams, don't you think?
Oh, of course. Not going to pick any Bengals.
So anyway, so we want to apologize to everybody out there. O.M.I.S, Sweats, Barry D, my buddy here, Tommy T. This is our show brought to you by our Cajun brothers at Boot Crew Media. This is our Super Bowl extravaganza, Rams against Bengals. Sorry about all the technical difficulties. Thanks for staying with us. We appreciate it. So, T, you want to get briefly into the Brian Flores and the whole scenario about?
I mean, I don't, we'll try to keep to 5 minutes, but it's hard for you and I to brief on anything when we feel passionate and strong about something. And we've been talking for years about the NFL and that bogus Rooney Rule. First of all, you have this thing called the Rooney Rule. It's so funny. The NFL come up with this rule and they name it after the original owners of the NFL, Art Rooney, whatever, and then his son, Dan, and now it's Art Rooney III. So they name it after that family. They try to name it after basically the Kennedys of the NFL. Like the rules are like Kennedys. They're like the royal family of the NFL. So they try to name this rule after him to try to get some credibility, because Rooney's are known as a family that has credibility in the NFL, which is already bogus. To come up with this Rooney Rule, you have to come up with a rule to hire black people. Really? Like, you're just saying right now, you're just admitting with the Rooney Rule, that we don't like to hire black people. That's what the Rooney Rule said. And I guarantee you, if you ask any young black coach or a veteran black player that's coming up and wants to get in the coaching ranks, he's going to say the same thing. He's going to say, Rooney Rule just says you don't want to hire me, which is the most bogus rule. And it's funny because the NFL is supposedly the most image-conscious organization in the world. Like, they're all about protecting the image of the shield, yet they always do something that makes you think that their PR department is run by a bunch of interns at a community college or something. Where do you come up with Rooney Rule? And then after Brian Flores got out with the federal lawsuit, which basically named Stephen Ross of the Dolphins, he named Denver Broncos and the New York Giants. He basically accused them of racial discrimination, and the NFL comes out with a press release within 48 hours calling it has no merit. It's without merit. In quotes, it's without merit. Well, how can it be without merit if there was only one black coach in the NFL at the time of the lawsuit, and you have the Rooney Rule, which says we're going to hire black people? Of course it had merit. But again, the NFL, they do everything so wrong, it's laughable. Again, I'll go back to, do they just hire people out of Mohawk Valley College or Hudson Valley College? Where are they getting their people from?
It's a bunch of baloney, and it's so obvious what they're doing too. And if I was the Rooney family, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, don't use my name on any of this crap, because it's not what I intended this to be. Like, I would just say, I don't want my name on that. Don't call it the Rooney Rule. Call it the stupid NFL rule. The National Plantation League. Like, don't call it. They keep saying it. I would go crazy. The Roonies, did they even make it?
Barry, they already had the Rooney Rule. It's all Emancipation Proclamation.
Yeah, I know, but it's like
a break. It's been in 18 whatever. When did he do the Emancipation Proclamation?
1800 something, right?
Yeah, it's you to say the Rooney Rule is just so redundant. It's just saying, well, you know what? Since Abraham Lincoln declared all men equal, really haven't moved forward yet. It's so stupid. Just hire the black guys. Just hire the good coaches.
Exactly. Just hire them. I mean, but they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it.
The other thing is, not only like when do hire them, they fire them. Like if I Brian Flores after 3 seasons and he had 2 seasons with winning record. Well, how do you fire a coach with a winning record? There should be a rule. You can't fire a coach if he had a winning record. That should be a rule. He was 9-8 this year. He won 7 games in a row at one point in the season. Last year he was 10-6. There should be a rule. You should not be allowed to fire your coach. I don't care if he insults your wife. You shouldn't be able to fire your coach and win 2 seasons in a row.
Now I lost your audio.
Oh, I just stopped talking.
Yeah, I lost your audio. You keep freezing on me like the internet's fucked.
Oh, everything's fine here. You're like nothing's freezing on my end. You're good. Nothing. You're moving around.
You're freezing though. Every time your voice is freezing and your screen's freezing.
What the heck? That you were doing? That was happening with you last week. I don't know why it's going on.
I don't know. Anyway, we'll keep going. We'll keep going. I just wanted to. You were like, it was like a kung fu movie. It was like a kung fu movie. It's like you were talking, but it wasn't matching up. But you know what? We could go on and on about this. It's just I hope Flores wins his lawsuit or something happens. I hope.
He won't.
I don't think it will.
It'll have to be settled. The last thing about the Flores thing is that Roger Dell gave the State of the League speech at the Super Bowl. It's an annual address of the league and the status of the league. Every time that guy speaks, I want to jump off a building. He is the most disingenuous public speaker I've ever seen. How is he making $40 million a year? How are the NFL players letting him take their money? He's taking their money. The owners are paying him $40 million a year. The NFL players should be saying, you know what? We want that money. Don't give that money to that bum who gets out there and he talks in circles and nonsense. He never says anything, ever. Like nothing substantial, nothing real, just a liar. And so as soon as he talks, I turn it off, and then I have to read about it afterwards.
That's interesting. So you're really he's a liar. You're like straight up.
He is such a liar. He doesn't care about anybody or anything, and it's obvious because, like, he spent months trying to stop Tom Brady for deflating a football, and then he reduces Ben Roethlisberger's suspension for 2 rapes from 6 games to 4 games. He doesn't care. He's just a phony. And I can't believe people aren't going, you know what? We're not playing the Super Bowl if Roger Dell is still part of our league.
TTT. Yeah, see, there's the Japanese movie again. Brian's here. He's pissed. Yeah, let's go, Brian. I don't know. I think he's happy. I don't know. He might be pissed. Maybe he's pissed. Brian, are you pissed or are you happy? I think it could be either one. I don't know how I'm reading. I think it's excitement. I think that could be excitement. What do you want to talk about, Brian? And where'd Simple go? He took off. That 1-2. That Simple 1-2-1-1. He left. He got frustrated. He took off.
Brian had to go to talk about his new head coach because the Saints, they had a devastating thing happen to them in offseason. Sean Payton stepped away. Right.
Of course. He's not going to stay around that team with that injured Winston and then the other guy, Taysom Hill. He's not going to do that.
Yeah.
He got out in the nick of time. He's smart, Sean Payton. He ain't stupid.
I got to tell you, buddy, one thing I'm impressed with this year in the NFL season is that you do like much better with names. Your name, I don't know what happened. Like your names have gotten good.
It comes around.
Remember, for years you couldn't say Brett Favre.
No. And then it just happened. I think it's just repetition. I have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and then sooner or later I get it.
Yeah. And look at Brian Bergeron said he's always happy. So Brian, are you happy with Dennis Allen taking over the head coaching duties because he did a terrific job with the defense the last several years there, and they have that GM Loomis. It's kind of a funny name, isn't it? Mickey Loomis.
Loomis.
He's GM, and Mickey Loomis' explanation is we're not building anything here. We have the right culture, we have the right talent, and he says, we're just going to continue with what we've been doing. Even though, obviously, he's probably sad to see Sean Payton go. I like the way the Saints are pushing this new hire. They're just basically kicking Dennis Allen upstairs, and they're going for it. Right? You got me?
No, I lost you again.
What the heck's going on? Everything's working perfect here.
Well, because what you're seeing is me.
I know, but
It's got to be.
I'm seeing me too. There's no freeze on me.
You really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, I'm moving around like crazy. No freeze. What's
That's
that dog
weird.
you got back there?
That's weird.
What's the dog you got back there?
What dog?
Behind you. What? Oh, it's a shirt. Oh, I thought it was I thought it was a Rottweiler.
Wait, let me see here. He thinks, okay, wait, let me put this up here. Yes, I think he's the right person for the job. All right, he's happy with that.
Okay, but you know what? As soon as someone said, I think he's the right person for the job, that means they're going to go 3-14 next year. That's always the case.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they had to get something. I think their big thing, the Saints' big thing for next year is going to be quarterback. Are they going to draft like Kenny Pitts? Are they going to draft the guy from O.M.I.S? You know, what are they going to do? Are they going to try to trade? Like who could they get? Like they're not going to get like Cousins.
I think they get Russell Wilson.
You think they get Russell? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think that would be an excellent fit for them as Russell Wilson.
And still draft a rookie early?
Well, to get Russell Wilson, you're probably going to have to give up your draft.
You got to give up, yeah. I would take him. You know what? That would be their best thing. But what do they do with Michael Thomas? Can they get rid of him?
Michael Thomas doesn't look like he really wants to play there. He hasn't played in 2 years.
But what's his contract? What's the deal? What's the hit?
I don't know. I mean, I know he signed a mammoth contract 2 years ago. I don't know what kind of guaranteed money there is. But at this point, I believe that they would be willing to move on from him and take the hit. But I think they're in hell worse than anybody. They got one of the worst cap situations because they what do they call it? Restructured several contracts and kept kicking the ball down the street.
So how are they going to do Wilson then? If they do Wilson?
Yeah, I don't know. Wilson's got a pretty big contract. Maybe they trade Michael Thomas for him. I don't know. Maybe that helps their.
Yeah, they got to get rid of Thomas because he's an albatross around their neck right now.
Yeah. But
I mean, you know, Ben Simmons. You get the Ben Simmons of the NFL.
Yeah,
Except he's got good hands. Michael Thomas, at least he's the Ben Simmons of the NFL, but he's got good hands.
Yeah. Ben Simmons got his wish. He's with the Nets. With KD.
I mean, we had to talk about that a little bit before we get into the Super Bowl. I thought it was hilarious today. I was like, one team gets a guy that knows his strong hand and can shoot, and the other team gets a guy who's got two offhand. He can't shoot.
Yeah. It's a good trade for both teams, though, don't you think? I mean, considering where they were, you know.
I guess so. I mean, Simmons wasn't going to.
Kyrie only plays the road games, though. How weird is that? Now your mic just went out. This is hilarious.
How about now?
Yeah, you're good now. You're good.
You know what?
How's me doing?
You know what? This week, you know what we could have did this show? We could have just got 2 soup cans and string and put it together.
Yeah. Hey,
and did it.
Where'd you get those shades? Those shades are nice.
Yeah. These are my Joe Brrr shades. I got my Joe Brrr shades. I got my Joe Brrr. I got a small Joe Brrr cigar.
Can we talk about
big like Joe Brrr? I can't have a big fat stogie. I got a little one.
Can we talk Joe Brrr for 5 minutes?
Yeah. Let's talk. Let's start with Joe Brrr and let's get into the Super Bowl because, you know, we touched on those other little things, you know, which aren't really great things. But everybody wants to talk about the Super Bowl, and let's talk about that. And let's start with Joe Burr. Yeah, definitely.
So he's they nicknamed him Joe Cool because he just has that charisma. He's got that thing about him. He's very cool. The thing I love about him is, Ohio State, it didn't work out because they gave the job to Wayne Haskins, and then he ran for LSU, and then of course he had that epic year where he went 13-0, 14-0. He set every record imaginable at LSU that one year, and so then he goes to Cincinnati. So they call him Cool, which is a very fitting nickname for the guy, right? He's just pretty cool. He looks like Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone, all grown up. But that's,
oh my God, he does.
But it's just cool, right? He's cool. Now the funny thing is, he's the third Joe Cool in the Super Bowl. The original Joe Cool was Joe Namath, who guaranteed winning Super Bowl III, right? And of course, he was at a hotel pool in Miami, sitting in a lounge chair, when they were photographing him and everything like that. And then later on, he went to one of those dinners before the Super Bowl and said, not only are we going to beat the Baltimore Colts, I guarantee we're going to beat the Colts. So what happened?
No, I'm all right. I thought I burned myself. You gotta know how to do this stuff. And I don't know how to do this. I'm pretending here, and I haven't practiced enough as an actor here.
Okay, so then the second Joe Cool was obviously Joe Montana of San Francisco 49ers, who led the Niners to 4 Super Bowl championships. Montana was 4-0 in the Super Bowl, undefeated in the Super Bowl. I mean, who's than Joe Montana? He's famous for 1988 Super Bowl when the 49ers got the ball backed up in their own end zone. They were like their 10-yard line or wherever they were. And they were down to the Cincinnati Bengals in that game. And it was a TV timeout. And during the timeout, they were all nervous because they were losing like 20-16 or 16-13 or whatever it was. And so before they came back from the timeout, Joe Montana said, "Hey man, is that John Candy?" He saw John Candy in the audience, like in the end zone.
Oh, yeah, I remember that story.
Right. And then Harris Martin, the offensive tackle, said, "What?" And that's John Candy over. Look at him. The John Candy's sitting there. And Harris Martin said, "Man, we're losing. Like, what are you talking about?" And Joe Montana, "Don't worry about it. We got this." And then he drove him like 9 yards. Right? That's Joe Cool, number 2. And now we got possibly Joe Cool, number 3. Well, there was another Joe Flacco.
Theismann. What about Theismann? How about Joe Plunkett and Theismann?
Well, it's Jim Plunkett, but
or Jim Plunkett. I'm sorry, Joe Theismann.
Joe Theismann. Okay, Joe Theismann won the Super Bowl 1982 with the Washington Redskins. He wasn't cool though. He was good. He wasn't cool. Not like these guys.
Was he cool when Lawrence Taylor broke his leg?
Well, what about Joe Flacco with the Ravens?
Oh,
he won the Super Bowl last time.
So, see, there's a lot of Joes. But, of course, there's a lot of Joes with a common name.
There's a losing Joe. You should know the
who do you think's the top Joe?
Well, you should know the losing Joe. The losing Joe is Joe Cap.
Oh, yeah.
The Vikings, Super Bowl II.
Of course, yeah.
No, Super Bowl IV, Joe Cap.
Yeah. I don't even know how that guy played professional football. He was just a big galoot.
Yeah,
well, go around, turn around.
So wait, we got Joe named Joe Cap, Joe Theismann, Joe Montana, Joe Flacco, and now Joe Burrow. That's 6 Joes. Wow. So, I should have named Roman Joe.
So are we missing anybody?
I think that's all the Joes, right?
So out of those, you got to say that Montana's 1 and Namath is 2.
Well, I think so. I think that Namath is 2. Namath won 16-7. Namath had the biggest upset. I mean, they say that Namath puts Super Bowl on the map.
Well, he did because he had a personality. Remember, he was at the pool, laying out at the pool. All the reporters were there. He had his fur coats. He had his ladies. He did. He had the personality. And I think Joe Burr is kind of like trying to replicate that, but you got to slow your roll a little bit because it's going to take him some time to get there. He's not there yet. Hasn't even played this game yet. If
he wins this game, he's there. And
if he wins it.
Yeah.
I think right now everybody's just a little too premature about him. Like, he's good and he's doing well, and he's only, this is his 2nd, 3rd year, and he's in the Super Bowl and everything, and he tore his ACL. He was out all year, but it's still not. You know, you got to see what happens this game before you start being one of the top Joes.
Well, I think that before Joe Namath won Super Bowl III, when the Colts beat the Jets, before that game, the first two Super Bowls, Green Bay beat the Kansas City Chiefs and the Raiders in the first two Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
Those games weren't even sold out. Those games, they had to give tickets away.
No one cared, right?
It wasn't popular. So I think Joe Namath put the Super Bowl on that. I think Joe Namath really made the Super Bowl what it is today. Is the event.
I think he did too. It was the biggest upset. And also, the AFC wasn't looked upon as some powerhouse back then.
No, that was a huge upset. The Baltimore
Yeah,
they were the establishment. They were, they were the Johnny Unitas, and they had, they had young Don Shula was the coach. Yeah.
So Brian, I love Kenny Stabler. Kenny Stabler was cool, even though he's not a Joe. Kenny Stabler was great.
He was cool as fun. Kenny Stabler was cool as fun, boy. We love
Kenny Stabler, the best left-hand quarterback ever.
No, Steve Young.
Yeah.
Young. Better than
I guess he was. Yeah, but okay. So Kenny wasn't Kenny Stabler a Cajun?
He had a gut.
Was Kenny Stabler from the South?
Yeah, Alabama, University of Alabama, same as Joe Namath.
Yeah. Was he from Louisiana?
I don't think he's
from Alabama.
Oh no, I thought he was from Alabama.
He was a Southern guy. He could sling it like a Southern guy could sling it. I love that guy. Even though I didn't like the Raiders, they beat the Vikings in that one Super Bowl. I didn't like them. He was
born in Foley, Alabama, and he went to high school. He went to Foley High School in Alabama, University of Alabama. But he made the Hall of Fame after he died.
Yeah, they should have put him in before he died.
I never heard that word. Posthumously, when they say, but when you miss something after you die, posthumously, I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, that's what they do. It's like when they give guys like Academy Awards and stuff, and they're already dead.
But that word
he said, I remember this. Wait, I got to show this because I remember when he played for the Saints.
Yeah.
And did he play for the Saints the same time that George Rogers and Earl Campbell?
Yeah.
Played.
He played for Bum Phillips.
Yeah, remember, wasn't it George Rogers and Earl Campbell and Stabler was on that team, but Stabler didn't start, did he? There was another guy.
No, I think he started, but he got hurt. He started, yeah. They traded Dante Pastorini for him.
Oh my God!
And then Dante Pastorini was starting for the Raiders, and he broke his leg, and that's when Jim Plunkett took over. And Jim Plunkett was disappeared, and then he took over, and they won the Super Bowl.
I remember watching an old clip. It was a Sunday night football. Or a Monday night football on Sunday, and it was the Saints against the Cowboys, and it was it was Earl Campbell and Kenny Stabler were on the Saints, and George Rogers and Dallas, I think, had was it Danny White?
No, they had
and OJ was doing the game. I got a clip of it, and OJ's doing the announcing.
Well, in that game, you know what happened? Dallas was losing, and they drove all the way down the field. They scored a touchdown in the last minute of the game, but missed the extra point, so they couldn't tie the game. And so then New Orleans had the ball, and somehow Stabler got tackled in the end zone, safety, and the Cowboys won by 1 point. It was one of the crazy games.
They would have never missed an extra point if they had Dempsey. He would have hit it with that cheating. He had that cheating half foot.
Well,
he had a plate. He had a plate in that foot.
Yeah.
That was cheating. They got to look into that. He was cheating. Did you go away again?
You know what?
All right, so look. So
do you think that Raiders team in the 70s with Nick Stabler, John Madden as the coach, with Ted Hendricks, do you think those guys ever worked out or they just showed up and played?
No, they just show up.
They never worked out.
It's like that movie North Dallas 40 with Nick Nolte.
They were smoking
it's just like that movie,
right?
Yeah. It's just like that movie. That North Dallas 40, they would smoke and drink and and they would just ice themselves down and go in.
Yeah, they didn't do nothing. They used to they probably sit in a hot tub with a cigarette.
So I'm losing. I don't mean to talk over you, but I keep we got a glitch between the audio here and the video. However, whatever it is, we'll try to figure it out, get it straightened out for next time. But so let's just talk about let's go talk about the teams. Let's talk about Brrr. Obviously, Burr is a big deal. Joe Burrow is a big deal for the Bengals, but also Chase is a big deal. Their little running back is a big deal, and even their defense is a big deal and their defensive coach. Whatever, that guy's a genius because what he did in that second half against Kansas City, we still don't understand what he did, but he stopped them.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. You're right. Who's the coach?
The defensive coordinator.
I don't know.
No one knows who he is.
Well, you're right. You're 100% right, but I wonder who did that.
Whatever he did, I can't believe he did it in a halftime scenario. Like, how did he do that? Like, I'm sure he had a plan.
He's an Italian guy, Lou Anaramo.
An Italian?
Yeah, Lou Anaramo.
Another Italian.
Yep.
He's nothing wrong with these Italians. He's
from Staten Island.
See, these Italian guys figure stuff out no matter how you do it. The Raider coach comes in, he's Italian.
Buddy, he went to Wagner College with Danny Rivera.
There you go. He went with one of our buddies, Wagner College, which they're still Division III powerhouse. They're a powerhouse.
Yeah, Wagner College. Wagner College is on the island. It's on Staten Island.
Yeah, they would recruit a lot in upstate New York.
Yeah, no.
So he went to school with one of our friends. He went with school with
Danny Rivera went to Wagner College. They were at Wagner at the same time. Danny knows Lou Anaramo.
Oh my God! So that guy, I believe he probably had some game plans in his back pocket, and he took that thing out. He was saving that thing. He didn't have to use it the first game they played him. They beat him. He was saving that. And it was a Mahomes defense. I don't know what he did. I heard like he would rush 3, drop that one guy. And that one guy, what's that one guy's name? The tall defensive end, the white dude. He would watch Mahomes.
Trey Hendrickson.
That freaking guy.
No, my bad. It's Sam Hubbard. Sam Hubbard. Yeah.
And whatever they were doing, I still can't believe it, but it worked. So what I'm trying to say is, I know the Rams know what happened. They watched the film. So if the Cincinnati Bengals do that, will that work against the Rams?
Well, I mean, the only thing is they don't have to do that against the Rams because Matthew Stafford is not a threat to run like Mahomes. They were throwing Mahomes off his game by rushing him late. So they have to come up with a different game plan for Stafford, I think.
But let me ask you this. They were dropping how many guys in coverage?
Well, they were dropping 7, but then they were running a guy late into the backfield.
All right, so if you one Italian to another Italian, if you had to tell the defensive coordinator coach of Bengals, the Italian guy, what would you do to stop the Ram offense?
Well, I would put Jalen Ramsey on Chase, and I would have him follow Chase all over the field. I would just have him shadow Chase. Right?
No, the Bengal defense against the Rams.
Oh, yeah. Well,
how would you do that?
You're going to have to play a zone against Cooper Kupp because that guy great. Isn't he great?
You can't double him?
No, I think you double him. You can't double him because you got OBJ. Then you're leaving OBJ alone. You don't want to leave him alone. You know what I mean? He'll kill you. Right?
And they got that backup tight end that's played well. That one guy got hurt. The other tight end, the white dude, they put that other guy in who was good.
And also keep in mind the Rams are going to run the ball. They want to run the ball. They got Cam Akers, they got Sony Michel, and they got Darrell Henderson back. So they're going to try to dominate the line of scrimmage and run the ball and keep the ball out of Joe Cool's hands. The Rams are going to have a different kind of game plan than you think. They're not going to be totally relying on the passing game.
Ah.
Yeah.
So you think they're going to try to ball control them and then make them fall asleep and then go deep?
Well,
and they're probably going to do a lot of crossing patterns.
Try to keep Cincinnati out of rhythm. They're not going to let them get into the Rams are not going to let the Bengals get into a rhythm. So they're going to try to control the ball more. You know, and they're not going to be quick strike down the field. The Bengals are going to play a zone on them. The Rams are going to just try to run the ball at them. And they're going to run those bubble screens and those the kind of plays that they run. And then also, you know, Sean McVay got that great misdirection running play. I don't know how he does that play where the line goes one way, the back goes the other way. He's got all those plays. You know, so I think that's what they're going to do.
Do you think if they had Robert Woods, it would be a bigger mismatch? If it's a mismatch at all?
Yeah, Robert Woods is like their second. Yeah, I don't. Well, if they had Robert Woods, I don't know if they would have gone at Beckham. I think they needed Beckham then.
Yeah.
You know?
So I get what you're saying. It's interesting. They want to keep the ball out of Burrow's hands, Joe Burrow's hands, and they might run it more than people think. And they're going to throw maybe some more screens to Sony or Akers.
Sony and Odell. They're going to maybe get Odell the ball out, you know, in the open, stuff like that. You know, and the Bengals don't have a great offensive line. Joe Burrow gets hit a lot in the playoffs. He sacked 9 times against Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. So you think they can get to him?
Well, if they try to get the ball downfield, yeah. We got Leonard Floyd, and then they got the 2 stars. They got Von Miller and the best player in football, Aaron Donald. So yeah, they're going to get to Joe Burrow. They're going to definitely get to him. So
they're going to that's probably going to be their thing, right? The Rams are going to want to put pressure on him. It's you know, and then take their chances, right? They're going to.
Yeah, and then Zach Taylor has to come up with a great game plan. He has to take advantage of the pass rush. He's got to be used against them. You know, maybe the over pursuit, you know, try to use the over pursuit against them and get a lot of misdirection the other way. Zach Taylor goes with McVay. They know each other.
I think Mixon's in for a big game catching the ball.
That guy's good. That guy's really
I
good.
think he's going to catch the ball a lot out of the backfield.
He's the best.
Like I agree with you. Like don't you let them come? I think the Bengals are going to let that defensive line come and over rush, right? You know how they like to do that, right? And they get them and then they dump it to the back or they dump it to the guy. Like I think they're going to have to do that against that Rams front line, defensive line. Let them come. You just basically let them come. It's really interesting. I think it's the quarterback must shit his pants when he knows what's going to happen, that they're going to do that, because it's like, here comes the guys, you know they're coming.
Yeah,
and you got to hope you got to get rid of it before they get you. when they do that on offense, I think it's amazing how they do that. It's like, yeah, let them come. It's like like
the last time the Rams were in the Super Bowl, they lost to the New England Patriots 13-3, I think, and 4 years ago, whatever it was. And I wouldn't be surprised if this game is just as low scoring. I don't know. For some reason, I don't see it to be a high scoring affair. I think the Rams want to do a ball control game and they want to dominate time of possession. And then I think New England is going to have a hard time with the Rams defense. I don't know who's going to win. I can't predict the win because I think the game is close. If you give Joe Burrow the ball late in the game, I think he'll come up with some magic. So
I mean, the line's like 4 points. I think the big thing for the line is that 4 is a lot, and if you go up to 4.5, a lot of games end on 4, and more games than you think. And I think the big key there, I mean, in a betting way, is like I wouldn't take the money line at Cincinnati. You know that that one guy bets a lot. He owns mattress stores in Houston.
Yeah, Mattress Mac.
Yeah, he bets he bet the Bengals in the championship game against Kansas City on money line, and now he's betting the money line here. He's betting money line.
Yeah,
and I would be like, I would just take the points. and even by a half a point, because I think the key is going to be that kicker. They got a better kicker.
Well,
Their kicker,
Evan McPherson, he's a rookie. He's
better. He's better than that guy, Gay. What's his name? Gay. And that guy's inconsistent. I think that's a big deal that at least Cincinnati will probably stay within the 4.5. And I'm with you. It's weird. The over-under is weird. It's like 48 and a half. And I'm with you. It seems like these teams are going to go up and down the field, but it almost could be that Ram defense could end up looking like Tennessee did against Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Against sacks and stuff, like.
Well, one of the side notes is that your team, the Vikings, is going to get the Rams offensive coordinator after the game, Kevin O'Connell.
I know, and I kind of want them to do really good. I want to see like a big showing of their offense just because I'm greedy about it right now, and I want, I got interested and I want to see what they're going to do. I mean, I'm definitely excited about that, and we'll see how it goes. But it's an interesting. I just think it's just weird. Like Cincinnati just came out of basically kind of nowhere in a way. And I never thought Burrow would be this good after that ACL injury this fast.
That's the other thing. He never had an injury. Oh, the other thing is that Joe Burrow at Ohio, in high school, he not only was the number one recruit in football, but he was Mr. Basketball.
Oh, really?
Great basketball player. He's a great athlete.
I wonder if they use the Achilles tendon cadaver when they fixed his ACL.
Oh, is it the cadaver from the Achilles or the cadaver?
Well, they either harvest the meniscus or something. The MC they do, but I've heard the thing now is to get a Achilles tendon cadaver because it's so strong, and they use that now.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the recovery is quicker and it's stronger. Like after it's done, it's like really strong.
Yeah, but sometimes though, it's not even the ligament itself doesn't tear; it just rips off the bone. Sometimes it rips off the bone, which rolls like a lampshade.
When you say that, I get an ache all over my body because I'm like, I can't even imagine like rip off the bone.
Yeah, well, that happens all the time with the bicep. And they tear their bicep. It rolls up like not a lampshade, a window shade. It rolls up like a window shade.
And the pec, right? The pectoral.
The pec too. The pec just tears right off the bone. Rip right off the bone.
It's ridiculous.
They reach, take a tackle, and rip, and they can't lift their arm up.
You know what was funny?
Well, years ago I did that show Fox Sports for 2000s, and I interviewed Junior Seau down in San Diego. And it was shortly after they were in the Super Bowl, right? And I said, one of the questions was, "Hey, Junior, you tore your bicep at the beginning of the year and played with it the whole year because he would, if he had surgery, he would have missed a year. So he played with a torn bicep, and he pulled up his sleeve. He showed me it was fixed, right?
Oh.
It was fixed, but there was a big knot in there, like this.
Really?
Build up like he was huge. He was a huge bicep, and they pulled it down and they reattached it, but it was all like mangled because he played the whole.
Could he move it?
He could move it, but he didn't have range of motion. And they won in Pittsburgh. They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC Championship game to make it to the Super Bowl, where they lost in '94 to the 49ers. They got killed. But Junior Seau did that whole year with torn bicep. He played. He just wrapped it up.
It's incredible the stuff these guys got to go through. It's terrible.
That's why, to bring full circle, I have to actually go get Ginger. But that's why, buddy, I bring it full circle and I bring it back to Roger Goodell, because I say that the players make up this league, not the owners and not the NFL office. And I'm tired of these white guys, these old white billionaires talking about the state of the league. Stop. Just stop talking about it. You're not doing a good job with it.
No,
players are
they're not. This is bullshit. It's bull. I'm glad
players are
it's just
doing fantastic. Listen, buddy, in the NFL, it's a player-driven league. The players do a great job with this league. All the players are great. The players are disciplined to reach this level. They're all great athletes. They've had to be great in high school and college. They get up to the NFL, and then they take their money. They take money. They play a game, and then a week later, they get fined $15,000 for a late hit during that game. It's just they rip the players off. And
yeah, that old stuff too. That's all those fines and stuff is ridiculous. I used to love in the NBA Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban would match the fine and give it to a charity.
yeah, they're robbing the players. I don't even care if the fine's going to a charity. They're stealing money from the players.
Yeah.
If
All right,
you're
so
playing a game, if you're playing a game and you commit a penalty, you shouldn't have to pay a fine on that penalty.
no, it's baloney.
It's ridiculous. 15,000, 20,000. What? It's ridiculous. I'm telling
It's
you,
ridiculous.
Roger Goodell's got to get fired, and here's who they got to hire. The NFL's got to hire Condoleezza Rice as the commissioner. That's the next committee. NFL is I want Condoleezza Rice. She's a big football fan, and she wants the job. And they got to get rid of that goofball Goodell.
Well, and I bet you a lot of players would like that too.
Oh my God, he's the worst commissioner I've ever seen. He's worse than our guy from Rome, Manfred, who's got.
Manfred's unbelievable compared to him.
Yeah,
You know, and you know, a lot of baseball people would say you're crazy, but come on, who are you going to choose? You would take Manfred over him, over Goodell. All right, so look, I know you got to go, and I know we had a lot of technical difficulties. I want to, we'll figure it out. I don't know. It's weird. It's like the audio's not syncing, or the video. Last week it was me. Now this week it's you. But we'll figure it out. We'll get in touch with Lala. We'll get in touch with the Cajun Connection down at Blue Crew Media. We'll figure it out when we'll do our post Super Bowl show next week. But I apologize to everybody out there.
I don't know what you're doing with the Super Bowl, but if you want to do like a quick Super Bowl show on Sunday, maybe I could do that too. I don't know, like maybe like a quick half-hour preview if you want to do a Super Bowl.
Let's figure it out. What I'll do is I'll text the Blue Crew Media guys tomorrow, and we'll try to figure out maybe what we'll do is we'll do a couple tests. They'll do a test with me, a test with you. We'll try to figure it out. Apologize for everybody out there that was waiting around and we were kind of going back and forth and everything like that. But the bottom line is it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a fantastic Super Bowl. I think it's going to be a great, even if it's a low scoring game. The game's in LA. I mean, what better can you do? The halftime show is going to be unbelievable with Dr. Dre and Snoop just bought Death Row Records. And I think there's a couple other people, but I know those two guys are there. And the game, like I want the Rams. I'm going to say I want the Rams, and I think the Rams win. Yes. But I want the Rams. But if I had a bet, take a bet, I would probably take the Bengals plus 4.5. I
said, if the game is close and Joe Burrow's got the ball in the fourth quarter, I'm not betting against him. I'm just not.
No, because what if the Rams are up by 10? That guy can go down the field, get a TD.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think their kicker, their kicker is going to make more kicks and clutch kicks, and some of their drives that will stall, he's still going to get 3 points out of it for him. Whereas the Rams, I don't know, that gay guy, I've been watching that guy. He's very inconsistent. He's got a body shaped like a pear. And it's not that he's like a soccer player with a big back end and big legs. He's just not. He just looks terrible. He's just got this bad shaped body, and he's not consistent. He's their weak link. He's the weak link, and sometimes it's special teams kicking game. Sometimes that's what it gets down to in this thing. So anyway, again, Tommy, good show. Old Men and Sweats, Barry D, Tommy T, thanks for joining us, listening. You can listen to the replay of the audio and the video tomorrow on all the major platforms. And remember, even though today, like, we had a lot of hard times with technical stuff and all that, we tried to do the best we could do. And most of the time I was watching Tommy like a Kung Fu movie where his lips weren't taking to the words. But we're still going to tell you this. I'm still going to tell you this because this is the way I'm going to just tell you. I don't care. Remember, and always remember about this. We won't try harder next time.
So don't even ask us.
Don't even ask. Look at this is it. This is what you get. So if you want to take a bet, take Cincinnati plus the 4, buy it up to 4.5. I think Tommy would probably even go with that.
I'll take Cincinnati in the under. I'll parlay that.
All right, so Tommy will take
Cincinnati
it.
in the
And
under.
our friend Malachi in Rome, New York, our friend Malachi, don't go with him because he's going to bet 5,000 on the Rams.
He bet 5,000 on Rams last week and won.
Yeah, and he's going to go again. He's going to double down.
He's going to give it right back.
Yeah, and does he bet money line or does he bet points?
I don't know. It's a good question. I got to ask him. I think he gets the points.
You should tell him he's got to be careful with that. He's got to buy that down to 3. He's got to buy that thing down to 3 or bet money line Rams and just suck it up.
I agree. Yeah.
Because he's crazy if he lays 4.
Yeah.
4.5. He's nuts. It's not good.
Yeah, it's a tight game, man. Tight game.
Yeah, so good for him. So anyway, all right, so I know you got to get going. I want to say one last thing about your dog. I like your dog when you bring him on and you put him on the counter because he reminds me of that dog in Goodfellas. Remember the painting of the dog? One was going one way, one was going the other way. That dog stands there like it's in a painting. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's actually on my lap. He's not on the counter. He's on my lap. But yeah,
but he stands like very still, like he's posing for a painting. He's incredible, that dog.
He's good, buddy.
He's incredible. All right, so take care, buddy. I'll try to get you during the game and stuff. Appreciate it. So,
all right, we'll talk on Sunday.
All right, everybody. Super Bowl extravaganza later. Adios.
Take care, buddy. Thank you, man.
Adios, man.